Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have a bit of an eyeshadow declutter for you. Basically all of these palettes are on the chopping block for me and more than likely I will end up getting rid of them. Some of them I've destroyed a little bit and then others I've left plain. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. We should probably start with some of the things that I have destroyed. First, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I did a bit of palette surgery to my BH Cosmetics palettes. Let me just start off by showing you the one I am keeping. This is the Blueberry Muffin palette. However, I have edited it. I removed the peachy shade and replaced it with a matte white and this more neutrally shade. I replaced this shade, no, I think that's the original one. I replaced some of the blues with other blues that were better quality from the other palette, and I got rid of the gray. Oh no, I got rid of the gray that was in here. So this I am keeping just because I made it a bit more good, and then I've removed some shades in here. Yeah, this is just trash. I took out some shades entirely and depotted them. That was the Smitten in Switzerland, but it wasn't because it already had shades taken out. This is what's left of the Love in London palette, excluding a couple shades. I just ripped out the few that I liked, but the few that I liked were from other palettes because they've all been rearranged. So this is going to go in a pile of giving away, whatever happens with that. Next, I've got the ColourPop Flutterby palette. You know how I feel about ColourPop. I don't really use some of the products I own from them. I do use their brow gel. The tinted moisturizer is fine. I have a few eyeliners. That's its own entity. But and I have some blushes that I like and a couple highlighters and bronzers. Okay, it's a lot. But eyeshadow wise, I don't use them. I don't really enjoy using them. So I have part of the Flutterby palette. Else excluding this, I've already removed the glitter from in here in another shade, and I replaced them with a couple of shades from other ColourPop palettes, but I wanted to keep those. But this palette I really don't want. I don't use it at all. This is a shade from the Ooh La La palette. I mean, the color, it's fine. I do not reach for it, and I know it's just because of how I feel. So I'm either going to take some more shades out, or I'm just gonna get rid of this palette. I don't really know. I might try to sell, a handful of the palettes that I've kind of ripped apart, because it might be easier, because at least you're just getting some jumbly shadows, but you know, it'll be discounted. Next, I've got the LA Girl Hot Hot Heat palette. This I actually haven't even used because of the layout of the palette was so confusing to me. So what I did was I actually depotted this shade, and this shade, what they were, put them into another palette and replaced it with these three. So at least it is a full palette, but again, I just wasn't inspired by this color story. It was kind of confusing, and every time I looked at it, I kind of regretted getting it. So I'd rather it be gone. The money's already gone. It's a drugstore palette. It's fine. The next palette I do want to mention, this is from KKW Beauty, and the reason I'm mentioning this is I only purchased this palette to get free shipping, and then I immediately regretted it because it was a palette I didn't want and I just bought it for free shipping. So I got it. I made a really beautiful look using like this purple with the shimmer and a couple of the neutrals, but I don't ever reach for it. So I am in a position where I could pluck out the shades that I want to keep, because it's kind of hard to resell these because I've listed this before and nobody really wants to buy it. And I'd rather keep the few shades that work, but I don't know. It's on the fence because if I could get money for it back, I would, since I spent money on it. Formula's fine. I don't like, the only shimmer in this that I like is this one. The other ones are really lackluster. So really, if I were to keep the palette, I would just take out these 4 shades. These 3, maybe this, but it didn't apply. No, I don't want it. It'd be the purple, this, and maybe all of these neutrals. But do I need more neutrals? I've realized that I personally don't use neutral single shadows. If I'm gonna do a neutral wearable, if I'm gonna do a neutral look, I'm gonna dip into a palette versus my singles. I dip into my singles for fun things. So I don't know about that. Next, from LA Girl, nothing to do with the quality, nothing to do with the formula. This is the Keep It Playful Downplay palette. I've never used it. I've had it for 4 months, and I don't plan on using it because this shade looks like a shade from one of the other LA Girl palettes, and all the mattes are just plain mattes. I don't really like how these are flaky shades. I don't use it at all. It needs to go. This palette, I've gone back and forth about decluttering a few times, and every time I pull it back in for one specific look, and I never do it. I think I pulled this back into my collection in November, and I haven't used it since. This is the Nabla Secret palette. It's a beautiful palette, beautiful color story, beautiful colors. However, I never, ever use it. So why am I keeping it? The look that I create with this isn't even very fun. It's Contigo in the crease, Mea Culpa on the outer corner, Aesthetic on the lid, I Promise on the inner corner. That's the look. Maybe liner with Nub Black. That's the look I create with this palette, and I can do it with other things. So therefore, this is on the chopping block. I'd rather be able to get some money back for it since I'm not actively using it. Next, this is kind of bittersweet, literally. This is the Too Faced chocolate bar. I purchased this on a whim because I found it at TJ Maxx, which again, that's its own issue. And it's the same problem as the other palette. I only create one look with this, and I use milk chocolate, semi-sweet, marzipan on the lid, a little bit of triple fudge on the outer corner, or hot chocolate on the outer corner. That's it. It smells divine. It's great. But I can't keep a palette like this for just that look when there's so many shades I'm never going to touch. Like these shades I don't like, that I don't like, that I don't like. That was very loud. I'd much rather dip into my Lorac Pro palettes because I have two of them. I have the 2 and the 3. The 3 was on the chopping block, but I decided to keep it. But I'd rather dip into the Lorac formula because I really like the way those shimmers look. And there's something about if I was going to work in an office, if I was going to work as a teacher, if I was going to get my photo taken for a license, if I was going to go to court or something, like something of that look, I would dip into my Lorac palettes. So I don't need this when I'm not going to use it for the exact same purpose. And next, this is a really big maybe because you can't buy this palette anymore. I actually plucked a shade from another palette and stuck it in here, and I'm waiting to be able to switch them back before I do anything. I just don't have the other palette with me currently. But this is the Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette. And this, back when I bought it, what year was this? It doesn't say, but I don't know if you can see. This shade right here is named after the G word slur. So there's that. That's a whole thing. I really liked how fun this color story was. I still stand by that. However, I never use it at all. This shade here is the one I depotted. It used to be a black, and now it's this beautiful color. I think this is, I don't even remember, but it was from the Berries and Cream palette. This shade is stunning, but I don't use it, and I don't know if it's because I put it in this palette and I never pick up this palette, but I don't know. This green is a very weird green. You've got two blues. You've got, like, I love, oh, you know, your little cotton candy corner and little neutral corner. I don't use this palette. And the mirror's cool because it's shaped like a gem. The palette itself is beautiful. The aesthetic, just everything. The formula is okay, but I just don't know. And I don't want to get rid of it because it's kind of fun, but I don't use it. So I don't know. This one's really in a weird boat only because I can't buy it again. And again, I am having to wait to get the other palette to switch the shades back. So it's in this weird purgatory, but I just don't know why I don't use it. I mean, it's beautiful. The quality of it's really nice, but I don't know. What would you do with this? Can you see a look from this palette? I can't. Alrighty, well that is it for today's declutter video. Please comment down below and let me know if there's anything that you own that you're really on the fence about decluttering, like I am with the Rustic Glam palette, because I won't be able to get it again. And the formula is okay, so I don't know what to do. But the palette kind of inspires me, but then it doesn't because I don't know what to do with it. But yeah, I'd love to know if you guys are in that same boat as me on any product. So thank you so much for watching, and please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye!